What's going on, everybody? Here we are. I was still typing up. I'm going to finish typing it too, by the way. The caps lock was on. That screwed me all up. Why? Because do I ever do anything on time? You can tell them that.
I'm kidding.
Uh,
Like I was saying about pre-show, this is not my first time at a rodeo. So, what's going on, Gary?
what's happening, man? The weather was pretty decent today. No jackassery on the road except for me in this tiny little dirt road town, and that's it.
Nice, nice.
We
Let's
got
see.
my wife there in the chat,
Hey, Anna, how are you this evening?
all caught up on the bread orders. We got John Beck. Yeah, it is this one. For a second, though, my glasses are dirty. I thought you were giving us one of these for a second. Hey, I was cool with that too.
John Beck, appreciate you stopping in, kind sir. Thank you very much.
And there he is, back by popular man, the Patrick Murphy.
So, hey, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate the invite and the opportunity to come on and chit the chat with you for however long this is.
Yeah, an hour to hang out and not. I'm looking at all this resale stuff right now. I was gonna say resale crap. It's not crap because we sell it, right? But I'm looking at it like for right now, it's crap. Like, don't look over there. Just
Just focus right here. Just
focus.
focus.
Move all these out of the way.
Yeah.
There we go. So, how was your day? How things been going?
Uh they've been going.
Bam.
Bam. Um no, I been working on tax stuff and then working with Sprint and just so it's been kind of an office day, if you will.
Hmm.
So, but now how are you, man? I hear there's some big changes coming up with you.
Uh, yeah, I'm going back to work in 2 days.
Nice. And
Scary thought, right?
how do you feel about that?
It'll be good because I'm helping get my wife's bakery up and going. That's the main purpose of it.
Right, right.
Benefits will be nice, but those bonus checks will be great.
Yeah, yeah, you were telling me
But
about those pre-show, man. Those sound pretty darn sweet.
the only thing, it's overnight,
Hmm.
so it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I haven't done overnights in, I don't know, 20 years.
You see,
Almost.
that's right up my alley, man. Man, I will stay up all night, but asking me to get up early is just like, oh my sweet Lord. I mean, seriously, like there are sometimes I'm at Johnny's, I've got like the cigarette hanging out of my mouth, working on that first cup of coffee, and it's like, oh, I need to take the cigarette out of my mouth to drink the coffee. I
Right?
have put my cigarette right into my coffee, not being awake, like one eye
Dunked it.
still not functioning.
Bloop. Oh, shoot. Uh, we got Keith. Keith is from Whatnot. He was hanging out with you one night. He hopped over from Whatnot from buying.
Awesome.
Hopped over, and here he is. It's
Awesome.
pretty
Awesome.
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 We've got Glama here, the Patrick Murphy, CEO of Vostech Community College and Bartending School. There's Susan.
So
Susan, how are you feeling after Saturday?
got a little got a little message, if you will, for Glemma's. Make sure you go over to Glemma's Closet, hit notification bell, go in one of her videos, let her know that Patrick Murphy sent you, and this is just for you, Glemma. There's something in the air tonight. The stars were bright, Fernando. She loves that song, man. She absolutely she's like, Patrick Murphy, I love Fernando. I want you to serenade me with that song every day. And since then, I make sure to make it a point to let her know that I'm thinking of her.
Let's see. It's Susan. Everyone's saying hi. There it is. Team Susan. Team Susan. She wants me to zip it. I know you see it down there in the comments.
I know.
But it's all in fun, Susan. Tortoise, what's going on? Jimmy's here. What's happening, man? There it is. Zip it. Awesome. How's it going? Nice to have you here. She loves that song. I'll have to remember that.
She does. I mean, I used to have. In fact, I think I still have the lyrics bookmarked just for her.
I remember whose chat I saw it in last, but you guys were on there doing that. You were. I was like, that sounds familiar, and then she finished it out for you.
Yep.
I don't know if that was earlier today or yesterday or. Yeah, man, we're gonna go back to the grind, and I remember seeing on was it Shed Flips? Lonnie said it one time. He's like, after 6 months, you're not hireable anymore. Nobody wants to hire you.
Really?
And that may have been true pre-Cove, but now it's. I walked in, they were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, It was funny to say. I was like, "All right, well, here we go." I make YouTube videos and sell stuff on YouTube auctions and on whatnot, and I sell on eBay. And they're like, "You serious? How long have you done that? A year. When can you start?" I was like, "Okay." So that was it.
Yeah, I remember a long time ago. I was in between. I wasn't in between jobs. No, I guess I was. And one of the questions, there was a gap in my job history, and that's exactly how they present. Now you gotta understand, I come from a corporate background where I did some basic HR and interviews and stuff of that nature, and we see an indication, a gap in your work history. Care to explain what that's about, or what did you do? I'm like, I don't understand the question. And like they were like caught like so what were you doing in the meantime? I'm like, personal things. Well, how were you making money? I had accumulated savings. Like, how is this important to you? Why? Then so it's like I turned it around them. I was like, what is the purpose of asking these? I mean, I didn't get the job. I knew I was already like whatever. I knew I really wasn't interested. But it's like, okay, let's turn this around. Let the interviewee start doing the interview.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't had them ask me that. There's been times when I don't put a job down. The job sucked so bad that I don't even want to use it as a reference. And usually, like you said, I was put down, hey, self-employed.
Right.
I was working on cars or doing whatever just to fill that gap, which I was doing the whole time, working or not. So, but yeah, I'd say with the way things are right now, if anyone just had the itch to go back to work for some reason and not sell anymore, I don't think you're going to have to deal with that whole 6 months you're not hireable thing.
Yeah.
Because they're really desperate to hire anybody right now. I'm reading the chat. They're still knocking the song out. You guys got the whole thing.
That's what I do, man. From me to you, Glamma. Much love, Patrick Murphy. So you figure like this whole next hour was just going to be a laugh session, right? You didn't really expect.
Yeah, no, it's just a hangout. It's an hour of us not listing stuff on eBay or doing an auction. That's or invoicing or shipping or no, it's just an hour of jackass
funnery right here on the Rampage Reseller channel. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Go into one of the videos. Let them know that Patrick Murphy sent you, baby. That's right. So Gary, I've honestly, I've always thought of something when I first met you is, and something that you may have explained in my lack thereof memory doesn't permit me to. It hasn't hit the long term yet, if you will. What is the story behind Rampage Reseller? Why are you rampaging the reselling?
I'm not actually. It's for my race truck.
Okay.
That's why we started that second channel, the Wrenching with Rampage.
And make sure you go over to Wrenching with Rampage, click subscribe, hit that notification bell, go into one of his videos, let him know that Patrick Murphy sent you.
It's just so smooth. Every time it's exactly the same. Perfect.
It's funny you say that. one of the DJs from the station was down. They laid over here, and we were hanging out, we were doing some things, and I did the tagline for the station, right? And they looked at me, they're like, "Do you do that live every single time?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, I always thought that was an audio track that you just hit. I'm like, no, no. www.caperadio.com, where we got your back.
Just good at it. It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my memory would not let that work. I mean, look at when you got your StreamYard link.
That was good. Yeah, I'm sitting there at like quarter till, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, I was confident. I was like, she's like, "Whoa, when's Patrick coming?" I was like, "He's probably already waiting in the back." I got up in here. I was like, we got under 5 minutes and no Patrick. I know Patrick's always early. And right when I went to look at Instagram, it goes, "Dude, loot." No one. That's my fault. Oh shoot. But yeah, that's where it came from, was the truck. I wanted to somehow incorporate the truck in and the reselling to make the truck go faster. And then I was just gonna do it all on one channel.
Mm-hmm.
But after doing this for like 6 months now, I've learned once we start doing car talk, the numbers drop. So keep them separate, two separate things. That's just how we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, I've heard that on these. Like, you start talking about cars. Now, I mean, does that apply to, like, say, like pop culture cars, like, the A-Team van or the DeLorean?
I don't know if we lost one person. I'm even playing. I'm watching the numbers.
All right, we're gonna go find that person. Like,
So
excuse me, excuse me.
yeah, so I don't know. So I just figured, hey, keep it separate. Because we were doing the auctions here and everything. And I know some people will run a channel and have everything all on one channel, and
Mm-hmm.
some people like it. But for me and what I want to do with the car stuff, I was like, I better keep the jackassery over here, and everything else right here. That's it. I saw it Susie how good.
So if
Uh,
Veronica Mitka is out there in YouTube land tonight watching, so this is, she had this done for me, so I appreciate that. So
that's
big
awesome.
shout out to Veronica Mitka. Make sure you go over to her channel, click subscribe, hit that notification bell, go into one of her videos, let her know that Patrick Murphy sent you, baby. That's right.
Uh, but yeah, so it was all based around the truck because I've had that truck forever. And I was like, you know what, let's do something different. Nothing with my name sounded good. I was like, let's just it will start with the same letter, just like Timeout for Tuesdays.
Now
So,
you see, for me, when I seen your background and I seen Rampage Reseller, I thought of the game Rampage from the 80s. Remember the old
yep,
Rampage game? That's where my mind immediately went.
yeah,
I don't
yeah. And
remember
then
playing that game. I mean, I remember seeing the game. I'm sure I played it. I don't remember it.
I've got it here on a couple systems at least somewhere, somewhere over there. Um, but yeah, and then when I made the name, I was like, man, are people going to think I'm like on some crazy rampage trying to resell stuff, or what's Hulk smash, it didn't sell, like what's going to go on?
It's crazy good deals. Get your butt down to Rampage Resellers this Friday night. That's right. The door will be off the hinges.
So I just rolled with it.
Yeah, there you go,
So
man.
I figured keep it somewhat the same so they can, if they want, or easy to remember, like for me, because my memory is not very good, is hey, let's make the other channel the Wrenching with Rampage, because it is Rampage reseller still. It's the best I can come up with at the time. And that was like 2 months of thinking about it. And I was like, fine, this is what we're going with. It's done.
It's awesome, man.
So
So I don't want to get too much into the truck because, again, we don't want the numbers to go down. I do see that we've already lost one number there, which
I
I will
told you.
find you. I will find you and I will kill you. And but so now it's not just like a truck. Is it kind of like it's a combo, isn't it?
Let's see. You asked, sir, and I will break a couple out for you.
All right.
Oh, the Hot Wheel ones. I think I only need one more of these, and I'll own them all. There it is.
So is that like an El Camino? Is that what they classified as an El Camino
Yep.
back in the day?
Yep, they were half-ton front-wheel drive trucks.
Right. Okay.
And that's why they didn't go over good, because when you put some weight in the back, especially with all the stuff I've done to it, there's no traction. It still stops good, but there's no traction whatsoever. And
Right
they
on.
were gutless from the factory. They got like 38 miles to the gallon. But, I mean, unless you were hauling some little crates of flowers around or something, you couldn't really do a whole lot with the back.
Or put your kids in the back, because I remember my mom, she had one when we were growing up, and as you know, it's a 2-seater, right?
Yep.
So it'd be mom and dad, and then me in the back.
And was it a Brat or was it a Rampage?
Dude,
the Brat had the seat in the back.
I was a little kid, man. I mean, like little, like goo goo gaga. Well, I mean, I could. I was in elementary school, so I was, I wasn't googly eyed.
Yeah.
But I do remember that vehicle. I don't remember. I know it was brown.
There's a good chance it was a Rampage then. Chrysler liked using those ugly colors back then.
Let's see, Vashtek, how do you keep that theater of mind, that technique I struggle with? I'm not sure I understand the question.
I think the voice, the radio voice.
Oh, this is my voice.
Susan wants you to go read her a book.
A lot of people have told me that. They've asked me to read the phone book, and it's one of those things where it's just like I don't feel like giving out personal information like that, even though I know it's in the phone book. But I do got some. I don't have it like right in front of me. But I did get some interesting letters from Penthouse book. And I thought I'd start reading from that for all the fine ladies and gentlemen out there.
For your after hours show?
For the after hours.
It's still a work in progress. We're still working on it.
Oh, dude! First time I seen you on Johnny, it's just like I've got to get to know this guy, because you were playing. Not only did you have a Star Trek game going on in your background, dude, but you had the 25th. It was either the 25th anniversary or Judgment Rights going on in the background. I'm like, I know that game. It's like I've got to get to know this. Yep, there it is. Yep, that's what you had going on in the background. Nice. That's for the Master System.
No.
The
Atari 5200.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that bad boy right there.
Dang, I never had a 5200. I heard of them. I never actually got to experience gaming on that.
That was the first console that I ever played games on, was a 5200, and it's actually sitting up over here in the corner.
Nice.
Still in the box.
Now, the 5200 was backwards compatible, so you could play 2600 games on it, right?
No, they were completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, just completely different. The 7800 would play the 2600 games.
Gotcha.
And from what I remember, the graphics weren't any better. Like, it was still about the same.
Right.
Yeah, that's the first game I ever remember playing. I couldn't tell you how old I was. Like you said, Goo Goo Gaga, was Jungle Hunt.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. I remember I could make it all the way to the end, to the boulders, and I'd die every time. Like, that's where I could swing the vines, jump the alligators. I get there and die. That was.
It was the early 80s, and we had an Atari 2600, the wood panel kind, and we got not one but two games in the box. It came with Combat, of course, right?
Yeah.
Because that was but it also came with Pac-Man. So, God, that was such a horrible port.
But that's what there was back then. And I've heard the stories. I wasn't old enough for that. Hey, is there some rainbow action going on?
Yep, there's Rainbow Kitty Cat, ladies and gentlemen. This is what my channel's turned into.
Rainbow making the breads. My cats won't even come in the office. Like, they know better. That room's off limits. From what I've heard, like back in the day when the Atari came out, is it like you go to Sears to play the thing, just to demo it, and the line would be like out the front door and around the side of the building. Like you had to wait forever just to because nobody really played home video games yet.
Right.
It's something I wish I could have at least seen in person.
Right. I mean, I've heard that. I did not experience that. But yeah, no. I mean, the 2600. We had Donkey Kong for that too. Have you ever
Yeah,
played the Coleco version Donkey Kong?
I think I own it. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You never know. I don't know half the stuff that's in here. Let's be honest.
Right.
But I think I do have it if I didn't sell it off. It was a tan cartridge, if I remember right, wasn't it? It was a different color. The cartridge
Yep.
itself was tan with the black label.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All the Colecos, I believe, were like almost the Colecos. Well, okay. And Activision had like the cartridge was it had a slant to the. And now, everybody, this is Gary's office. Please observe the arcade in the back.
But I'll pull some oddities out for you. Like I said, there's everything in here, right? We've got a command module for, what is this? Terminal Emulator 2 for Texas Instruments.
Nice.
And who can forget MASH?
Wow.
Or Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, so now that is that a Coleco or is that an Activision game?
It does not say. I'm trying to insert to this line. I think this is Tandy.
Because there was
would have
one,
been Coleco, right?
well, there was one that had that you see how the front of that's got that slant on it?
Yep.
Because I remember we had baseball, and I thought it was
I'm looking now. You got me Googling it.
I know. But you did a great Google in this guy. I shouldn't be doing this.
In television. These were in televisions.
In television. Yeah, I said in Activision, so I was close, sort of. In my mind, it makes sense anyway. I know what you mean. I don't know, but I'm right with the wording. Where you stage your mind, where you want to say, and imagine how people will see what you're saying. Does that make sense?
We were both right. Oh, let me pop that up. There it is. So before my times.
Oh yeah. Rolling back to the 80s, ladies and gentlemen.
And we were both right. You were on the Intellivision. Tandyvision is the same console with a different badge on it.
Now, do you have any cartridges for the C64?
I have a complete in-box 64.
Oh, nice.
And sitting buried up here on the side, I don't remember the one. Was it the 541C?
Well, I remember the Amiga 128. Or was that?
Let's see.
Hey, Kim, appreciate you stopping in.
What's going on here?
And now we observe the background yet again as Gary goes to find something, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, nice.
The 1541C.
Oh, yeah, the disk drive. Yep.
So I've got the complete in-box disk drive, and I also have a Commodore 64 complete in-box.
So you want to know what I did when I was a teenager with my C64 disk drive? My disk drive failed, right? So we went out and got a new one. This was back before, like, they had serial numbers, but they weren't, like, enforced like they are today. So we went out, we bought the exact same hard drive, we brought it home, and then I took the old hard drive, put it in the box, and returned it.
My mom used to rent Nintendo games. I don't know how she figured this out. Her copies of Dragon Warrior that she's got down at the local mom and pop place, they had, let's say, 3 of each Dragon Warrior, right? They made 4 of them for NES, 4 separate games, but they all just said Dragon Warrior when you rented it. So she rented number 3 and 4, and they were so good that she called and said, "Hey, I can't find it. What do we owe you for it?" And they said, "Well, it looks like we've got 12 or 16 of them in stock. It's okay. Don't worry about it."
Wow. Wow.
And if you comp those 2 Dragon Warriors, man, that's a lot of money. I don't even own those. So
Yeah, I'm not saying what we did was right back then, but it was the 80s. It was the 80s, so excess was the best back then.
we got Kim in the house. We got Tamara. How's it going?
Ah, hey, speaking, Veronica Mika just showed up.
Uh,
Again, my t-shirt is sponsored by Veronica Mika. That's right. Make sure you go over to her channel, click subscribe, hit the notification bell, go into one of her videos and let her know that Patrick Murphy sent you. And actually, I love the back hit on this. I don't want to like turn around. It's bad to have your back to the camera, but it actually says on the back, Patrick Murphy sent you with the horns.
that is
It's usually
awesome.
hanging up back there.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I love this shirt. She gets on me because I don't wear it nearly as enough.
Not supposed to hop around like you said, but sorry. I'm just trying to show cool stuff for him.
See, right there, she's giving me hell already. See?
There it is. Let's let everybody make sure they see it. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I still have. So, which side is that right here? That is the original Nintendo I grew up with. And then over on the other wall is that 5200 in the box with 2 trackballs in the boxes. And all of the boxes for all of the games are broke down inside of them. So it's all still there. And luckily, my parents kept that put out in the shed, and they were like heavy smokers. So they kept them in the shed. So there's like no tar build up on them. And even the trackpad is still in the Nintendo box. We weren't allowed to use it.
So Don's got a question there for you. Okay, Gary, what is the max you would pay for an NES with light gun and controllers untested?
Now the winky face, does that mean you've got one and you're asking me what I would personally pay for it right now? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I was like, that's 2 different questions. I'm reading back into this with light gun and controllers untested. Does it have any games with it? At that price point, unless you're keeping it for yourself, I wouldn't. If it's got some games to go with it to offset the value, then I would. But you'd be pushing it realistically, just the Nintendo with a gun and a couple controllers, I'd say maybe 40-45 bucks. That way you can replace the pin set inside, which I had one sitting here. I think I tossed it. Replace the pins and get it working again, and then resell it. Otherwise, like that's about the max. Uh-oh. Kim's wanting it. Now you got her on the hook. She's on. Reel her in. If it's for resale, I'd still say probably about 50, 55 bucks at most. Because a pin set's going to run you about 10 to 15 from the Bay or from Amazon. And then it's going to take like 30 minutes worth of time to repin it, and it'll be good to go. But that's like the max that I would go with that setup. And whatever you do not use Magic Eraser where it says Nintendo, or it won't say Nintendo no more. It takes one wipe and it's gone.
Dang.
I've done that on a lot. Forgetting, it's dirty right here, and you go, gone.
What do you do? Do you take like a toothbrush or like a Q-tip?
I'll just use a little kitchen towel.
A little kitchen towel? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Now the rest of it, I do Magic Eraser the whole Nintendo, but right where the logo is, I'll go around it. Same with the zapper gun. If you go over it, it just takes it right off.
Right. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Good to know. That reselling chat that we weren't supposed to be doing.
I know, right? There we go.
I'm joking.
Look at everybody. Everyone's after it, though. Like, where is it? I need it. Reseller chat? Hmm.
Hmm.
No, we can talk about whatever. So it's
No,
all.
Don. No, 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 no. And by the way, if you haven't, make sure you go over to Hip Chicks channel. Make sure you click subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go into one of the videos, let them know that Patrick Murphy sent you. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they have a little show called Chick Chat. I make sure to plan my day around that. Unfortunately, this Thursday I can't be there. I do have an appointment that does take a little bit more precedence, but yeah, no, that's Tuesday and Thursday at noon. It's like, I've actually had people like they go to send me something and they know that I do this enough to where it's like you're busy with Don and Mary, aren't you? I'm like, yes, I am. I will contact you later.
So I know you were selling phone cases and repair parts and stuff for a while. Like what got? I know back into the resale. What got you into? I guess the comic end of things and all of that.
Well, what really started with the live auctions here, and is that I started selling my collection. I I have had stuff since the 90s, man. Like stuff that is still in boxes and it's moved from apartment to apartment to apartment and to a townhome and then finally into a house. And once I got into a house and I have enough space to finally display everything, it's like it's kind of like that Duke Nukem up there. That Duke Nukem Forever, the game that took 15 years to finally get released. And then once you got it, it was just a horrible, just like, why am I even here?
I waited in line for that.
Oh, that one up there?
Yeah. I waited in line to get that game. I pre-ordered the collector edition.
Mm-hmm.
What a fail.
Oh God. I don't think I got the collector edition, but I do know that I got the hardbound walkthrough guide. Some call it a collection, some call it a death pile. And that's where what started me with because it's just like again, it's like I've got figures. One of the things about collecting, like back in the 80s or 90s, right? When there was a period that comics were on fire, figures were on fire, and what was happening is I was picking up like let's take X-Men for example, right? If it had the name X-Men on it, I would pick it up. I don't even know who the character was. It just said X-Men, right?
Right.
So now you fast forward to now and it's just like I don't know who you are. Now there are some characters that I'm holding on to that's like, okay, I know who they are. I kind of like them. But, and then there would be some that were cool enough to where it's like I bought two. I bought one to open and then one to collect. And dude, Spawn, McFarlane Spawn is the same way, man. I mean, here, I'm just going to pull this out right fast, right? Because it's right here. I mean, like this guy, I bought it because it was a McFarlane figure. I have no idea who this guy is. I didn't read this comic book, you
Right.
know, and I've got all these McFarlane. Now I will tell you, this guy right here, Crypt. This is a cool figure. I actually got him up on my shelf up there, right? He comes with a bunch of kind of accessories. He was really cool, and so. But again, it's just like I picked up all these figures because it was that name. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah.
I see, and this is over my head.
I'm sorry, what? Patrick's
This
collection.
comment is over my head.
Patrick includes X-Men Hangnail. Don't remember that character, but
I thought it was an inside joke. what a character name.
but yeah, no, it's like I just had so much of it, and it's like even my comic collection, man. And so that's what kind of got me into it, and then and as you know, I sell on Horizon's auction every Friday night. Make sure you go over to Horizon Picks, click the notification bell, go into one of his videos, and let him know that Patrick Murphy sent you. That's right. So and that's what they did is like they were doing comics and stuff of that nature. So it's like it's like okay, I can do this. This is stuff that I know. I'm sorry I don't get it, Don. Don't be mad at me. Oh, great.
Apparently, we have to do this.
Head
but
desk.
it's just a joke.
Ah. Yeah, but I mean, it, I think what she was referring to is like kind of like you again, it was just you were buying characters or things just because it had that name on it. It's like you don't even know who these are, like the one off, like and that's kind of. But again, so it's like it started with downsizing the collection, and then next thing you know, you look over and then you wind up like this, like oh god, what happened?
Right.
It's like, oh, so I started sourcing comic books now. It's like the idea was to start getting rid of my collection. Now I'm getting more to get rid of.
Right. But you know what to look for, though. Right. That's see, I don't. I like we'll hit the flea market, and unless it's video games,
Hmm.
I don't buy it or Hot Wheels. I won't touch it
Hmm.
because I don't know anything about comics. I didn't get to grow up around them. I
Hmm.
was always told you ain't got time. We ain't got time for that. We're not buying those. So I
Right.
never got to experience. Everyone's at school playing with X-Men figures and stuff. No, not me. I had a few Ninja Turtles, but I never got to have the comic books growing up.
Right. Right. And you see, and to me, like I know enough about video games to be dangerous, but I couldn't tell you. I know there's some like very popular games out there to be on the lookout for. I couldn't tell you what they are. Um, Again, I know enough to be dangerous, and that is kind of the same with comics too. It's like I'm not the comic. I don't want to say guru, but
Yeah,
I'm not that guy. Okay, I know enough about comics to be dangerous. It's like but it's like anything. It's like you look for condition and you look for um what are maybe some like key titles. Like I know there's key games out there, like um games that either had a very low run, very low print, or not low print. That's books. But you know what I'm trying to say here, right?
yeah. I've got an example. As soon as you said that, I was like, I have the example. Panzer Dragoon Saga for Sega Saturn. So they
Yeah.
made after the Saturn was already pulled off the shelves.
Hmm.
They made the game. It was an RPG. So they made the game. They made 15,000 copies, and it sold out instantly. And they said, "Well, I guess let's make another 15,000." So there was originally 30,000 copies of the game, and they all sold out instantly. They never re-released it again, and um, I did have it, and I sold that thing um, like October for
Hmm.
850.
Wow.
And it didn't have the back art. It wasn't in the original case. It came with 4 DVD cases and the manual.
Wow.
And it sold. Well, I had 5 people watching it. And I sent an offer. I took a like, hey guys, I know there's 5 of you watching this, so here's the offer. I'll have it packed up and ready to send out tomorrow. And it sold within probably 30 seconds of me sending that offer.
Nice.
Kind of that thing you throw it out there. I know there's a bunch of people watching, and someone's going to grab this. So you're not the only person that got the email. But yeah, and that we got that in a tub. I didn't even know it was there. It was in an 18-gallon storage tub with some Nintendo games.
Hmm.
We paid $20 for the tub, and it
Nice.
was in there. All the discs were there, the manual, and I was like, disc 1 is missing. Where is it? And in the bottom was the Sega Saturn with the disc inside. And I was freaking out at the car so bad. I was shaking. I was throwing like $7,500 Super Nintendo games, tossing, looking for this thing. They're bouncing off the jack and other stuff from the yard sales, and there it was in the bottom. And yeah, it was like you said, the low production stuff, the things that were controversial that they pulled off the shelves that nobody knows about, or
Hey, that's a question. That's a good question for you, Mr. Video Game Man. What is the Night Trap Sega CD going for nowadays? I haven't looked at that in a hot minute.
I don't know, and I don't even own it,
You,
to
you
be
know
honest
which
with
one I'm talking about, though, right?
you. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I think there was another company that did a re-release of it. I think it called Limited Run Games.
Is that on Steam now?
No, it's actually I've got some up here. I don't even open the shipping boxes. I just order them in. and leave them that way. They don't hit the light or anything. They come in cool boxes. But they do limited low run games, and they do repops and other one-off stuff that people, has a decent following. They pull it off the marketplaces or whatever, and let's make a real hard copy of it.
Right.
And then they'll release them. I think they do it every couple Fridays. I think, like every other Friday. It's night without the K.
Yeah. In fact, Dana Plateau, the actress who was in Different Strokes, she was in it, and I want to say Deborah Harry was in it. Or am I thinking?
I'm popping it up for you right now, and it is actually available. It says on PlayStation Store for $15.
Wow. So, what's your thoughts on digital media like that? Video games like on Steam and stuff of that nature?
Steam doesn't bother me. I've never used it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to consoles, I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Here's my thing. I tried it with Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
And there were games I lived before in another remote place. So it's like, well, I want to play this game with everybody else tonight, and I can't go buy a copy. I'll just buy it online. That works great until you move or the internet goes down and Microsoft pulls the game from you, and all you're left with is a demo of it. I don't know how it is on the newer consoles, but that killed it for me. I will never spend money on a digital game again. Never again would I do that. Because you figure once they get, phase the 360 out, the online altogether, that's it. Once they shut that network down, same with all the other ones. And then you don't have anything. Yeah, you had fun playing the games in, but if you want to go and play them again, you're just out. So
it's interesting. It's interesting you say that, because there was a version of Duke Nukem on Steam, and this is before, like, there was a new company that took over 3D Realms, and I think it was called Duke Nukem Megaton Edition, and basically it was the Steam version of Atomic, where it had all the DL, all the additional
DLC.
packs. Yeah. But so then the new company bought it, then they released the 20th anniversary, then the Megaton Edition went away, and it's like, I still got it on a hard drive. I no longer use that hard drive, but I keep that hard drive, and I haven't reformatted that hard drive because, again, I know I can't get that game.
I wonder, you need to look it up and see what it's worth on the hard,
hard drive.
Well, I know, but no, not the whole hard drive, but if you put that thing on something else to sell it, maybe, you never know.
Yeah. Well, you still need Steam in order to, again, but it's one of those things where it's like, and I think this topic has come up, and again, we're starting back on the reselling, whatever. But it's like, am I purchasing the game or am I leasing the game?
You're pretty much leasing the game,
right? And it's like, good.
But it's people in the moment. Like when I wanted to play whatever it was an in the moment. I want to play this now. I don't have time to go pick up a copy. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy it online. It's one of those things. And for people, let's say they got kids, and it's, no, I'm not going to go away to GameStop and hope they have a copy, or go wait in line at Walmart and deal with people. Here's the debit card. Just order it online and be done with it. I don't think that they're, how do I put this? It's like people at Walmart, and no offense to anybody out there if they do this, and I see it all the time, it drives me nuts, but where the kids looking at stuff and they're like, you know what, here's the phone, while they're pushing them around the cart. It's one of those things, like, here, I'll just buy it online so I don't have to hear about it anymore. They're not thinking like I do down the road, like for the kids here, I won't buy them an online game. If you want it, if I don't have it, we'll find a copy, a physical one, because those kids down the road eventually, I mean, there's games that that I'm sure you've been like, damn, I'd like to go back and play that. Well, you got to have a physical copy to do that.
Right.
So it's going to happen to them too. They're going to get to the point where, man, I'd like to go back and play this. Well, you can't, because the networks are shut down and you never had a physical copy, or like they're trying to do, phase all that out. Well, now you can't unless someone's got a bootleg copy somewhere. That's
Right.
about as good as it's going to get.
Um, Don said I was having PC gaming for more than consoles. I agree with that. I totally 100% agree with that. One weird game series was Phantasmagoria. Either of us play that? I have not. I might have heard of that. But yeah, I have not played that. But I do
I,
agree with Don. I've always been a PC gamer as opposed to a console. Not to say that I don't have consoles and enjoyed my consoles, but I think the thing that for me, and I think Don will agree, you can upgrade a PC, whereas with a console, once it hits its end of life, it's done.
right.
You know, and pre-download, like say like in the PS1, PS2 era, which I think you could connect the PS2 to network, but it was very I've never.
Oh, I did.
You did? Oh man.
It was kind of hard with the early ones,
Hmm.
but the slims were already set up. You just plug and play.
Okay.
Uh, but the early ones, do you remember they had a huge? I don't have the box anymore. I don't think, but you had to buy Final Fantasy,
Hmm.
and it was this huge box, and it was almost $200. And I'd always walk by it at Walmart, but like I'm not a Final Fantasy guy anyway. But I was like, I'm not paying that just to have it. So I was hanging out with some guys like, yeah, we play PS2 online. I was like, I've never done that. Like, what do I need? Like, dude, you need the hard drive and the network adapter. I was like, well, I've never seen one where you get that.
Hmm.
It was in that kit. So you would buy the Final Fantasy,
Hmm.
pretty much toss the game, and take the hard drive and the network adapter and screwed right onto the back.
Hmm.
So you had your memory card, but you could save everything to the hard drive too.
Nice.
And then we would play SOCOM. That's we would do every night. We'd sit and play SOCOM
Nice.
online, just sit there and have fun with it. But yeah, a PS2 was decently capable with the games that they had online.
Now let's roll it back even a little further because we were talking about Saturn earlier. Now was it Saturn or Dreamcast was the first console that you could connect to the web?
Lots of tires on the thing burning out. Sorry. Um, you could put the Saturn, hold on, the Dreamcast online. Yes. Did you know that you could also get an adapter to put the Sega Genesis online?
No way.
Yeah.
No way. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised, but I mean, but that was pre-internet though, right? Oh well, not
It was
internet
real
as
early.
we know it, pre-web point one, I guess, if you will.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They had adapters for all. Hey, we got one in here. Thanks for coming by, Jula Giara. But I'm sorry to tell you, we can only have one real Vostek.
See, I can't. Let me get this here. I can't do anything. But
You're good. I blocked it.
cool. But
um,
yeah, Voshtak is better. So
that's it. Do you remember all the crazy adapters for the Genesis? Like all the
oh man,
crazy,
dude.
like,
So the first wave of Genesis was pretty big. It was, and then you got the smaller version. Well, then you got the Sega CD, and then you got the 32X. I mean, this thing looked like
like some ugly ass Legos.
Mhm. I will say this. My first introduction to Doom was through the 32X.
Mm,
And then a friend of mine, she's seen me playing it on the 32X. She's like, "Oh no, honey. No, honey. Come here. You've got to experience it on the PC." And it's like, "Okay." And it's like, dude, she had so many mod maps. I mean, she had, because again, X-Men was popular back then. She had like the characters were X-Men characters. It was just crazy amount of mod maps she had, dude.
yep.
But it's like since then, man. And I mean, even going back as far as my C64, I never had a Nintendo growing up. I had an Atari and I had a C64. Um, and I just always felt like the graphics on the C64 were a night and day difference of an Atari. You know, very comparable to to Nintendo, if you will, right?
Right.
But again, I didn't have Nintendo; I only experienced it through others. But I always knew, again, you could upgrade a PC. In the '90s, when AOL was the thing, right? And you were buying all these computers at, like, your Best Buy or Radio Shacks, or what have you. Circuit City, there's one.
I was gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, Circuit City. But again, if you needed to go faster, you could go out, you could buy more RAM, you could buy a faster processor, you could buy a motherboard. Your computer was never obsolete. Well, I don't want
Right.
to say never. I mean, if you're still running an old E machine and you're still upgrading that thing, you might want to consider retiring it. But say if you've got now, um you've got old games, you can actually still use that, kind of like an old console, if you will,
Right.
to play those old games.
Yeah, I'd like to get one and set it up just for Doom. That was the first computer game that I played.
Oh, I loved it. I love Doom, but then when Duke Nukem come on, it's like, okay, add sarcasm into it, and yeah. So
I had one of the. I don't remember which one it was. I did have a PC Duke Nukem, and it was really good.
yeah,
Um, it was a side scroller, if I remember right. I couldn't tell you which one it was.
oh, Duke 1 and Duke 2 were the side scrollers. Then Duke 3D is when it was
It
like,
was probably the very first one. Wouldn't surprise me. But we played. My parents didn't know anything about upgrading computers or anything,
mm-hmm,
so we had this old computer that I think my uncle or grandpa built, and we had so many Dooms stuffed on that thing that you can only play it with the screen at full minimization because
nice.
it was just too slow. It just couldn't handle it. But like you were saying, the mod maps, D Zone
Mm-hmm.
had a whole ton of them because I used to play it and it had voiceovers from, um, oh my God, what's that? Pulp Fiction.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, you'd shoot him in the face and say Royale with cheese.
Nice. I think the computer talk is also similar to the car talk if you look at our numbers.
Yeah, hey, it's what happens, people.
So again, but rolling back to where what kind of spawned this conversation is that you're sitting there and you say you don't know a lot about comics, and again, I don't know a lot about games, but I think we both know enough about each other's niche, if you will, to be dangerous. And there is a lot of cross, like, again, you're looking for condition, you're looking for rarity, you're looking for, you know so, but yeah.
Oh, where'd it go? Definitely hit that thumbs up. And thanks for stopping by, Flipping Mike. And Tortoise is always here.
Appreciate that, super fast horse.
But yeah, the comics I got to learn more about. And if you have any questions about the games, let me know. If you're out, send me a text. Hey, I found this stuff. What's worth picking out of here?
Right, right.
Sure.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I, you'll, yeah, no, okay. I just had 5 conversations with you, and you just didn't realize it. Sorry about that.
It happens.
It happens. It happens.
And they all ended with no.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the beauty of being me.
Heck yeah. So what do you got coming up? I know we're almost at an hour, but we did game people. People came back as soon as we stopped PC car chat.
PC car chat. So we know the killers on your channel. So we can't talk about cars and we can't talk about PCs.
We've learned the two things that are channel killers, at least in this field of work. In this line of fun.
Yeah.
But so what all you got coming up, man? I know you got Rainbow making biscuits.
He's been on strike. He has not been wanting to make the biscuits for me lately. I was able to get a video of a pet name the other night, and that's about it. He has not made the biscuits for me. So, of course, as soon as I say that, I was telling people, like, yeah, if I sit down in the corner of the couch at night he'll hop up and he'll make biscuits. And he did that for like about a good week and a half, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, nope, I'm done. It's like I think he knows that I'm filming it. Like if he sees me like this, it's just like, nope, nope, not gonna perform for you
Right.
because he has cats, and that's what cats do.
I know. It's like every time one of them will hop on the couch and look at me, and I'm like, all right, come here, come here. What do? They stop not this far from your hand, but that far from the farthest you can reach out. And they're like, all right, come the rest of the way. It's almost like whatever.
One of the cool videos I was able to get out of him though is like I knew he was getting ready to hop up on the couch, and it's like so I was able to capture him like going hopping up before because a lot of my early videos with him was just him already making the biscuits, but I was able to capture him a few times actually hopping up and then starting to make the biscuits.
That's awesome.
So that's what my channel's turned into. It's honestly just turned into Rainbow. So I stopped doing pre-records and a lot of stuff back at the end of the year last year. Just I got burnt out on it. I'll be honest with you. It was just
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like, I do the out and abouts, and don't get me wrong, they were fun, and I appreciate everyone that tuned in and liked and supported my channel. And it's not to say that I won't go back to it, but it's just like right now, that's where this came from. Speaking of Rainbow Kitty Cat, um, but I mean, there's just so much that goes involved in editing time, and it's just like I don't do it on my phone like I know a lot of people do. But you know, it wasn't it stopped being fun, bottom line. And I understand you get out of whatever you put into it, and there's got to be a consistency, and
Yeah.
but it's just like when you're dreading doing it, it's like okay, it's time to stop.
Yeah.
So, and one of the lines that I used, and I do maintain this, is like, let me go find it. Let's see. So, any good radio personality will tell you when you don't have anything left to say, close the mic and fire the next track. And that's where I was. I was
Yeah.
ready to fire the next track, and that's what I did.
Yeah. We need breaks.
So, I
It's
mean,
not
I'm
us.
still around. I still pop. I mean, you asked me, and here I am. I think this is, besides the auctions.
Right.
Um, I do maintain, I still do, a lot of the auctions, and I like to try to bring a level of entertainment to the auctions. For me, I like to make people laugh. I like to make people feel good, smile, and that's what I try to bring to the table. Some funnery, if you will. I mean, dude, let's face it. It was week before last, I believe, on Anna's channel where I debuted the fart in the jar. That's right.
It is still saved on my eBay. I'm still watching it. I'm waiting for it to sell. I'm hoping for you.
So, but I like to have fun, and that's for me, that's what it's about. And I understand, I got to make a little money and stuff of that nature, but if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, then you know,
I'm sitting here looking for it right now. It is out there, guys. If you would like to buy a fart in a jar, this is definitely the guy I would buy it from.
well, I mean, you don't have to necessarily look for it. I mean, like everything else in my studio. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You too can have the fart in a jar. Gary.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Look, it doesn't. Ain't got your info, but there it is.
There it is.
It is on my watch list. We gained a person. Awesome.
Oh, so we gained a person.
Cars and computers, no. Farts and jars, yes.
Numbers go up with farts in the jar. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh shoot.
All right.
Well, heck, we've hit the hour, man. Well, what do you got coming up? I'm sure you
Just
got
the
some.
Friday night auction that I'm aware of. Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Horizon Picks channel. Make sure you go over to his channel, click subscribe, hit the notification bell, go into one of his videos, let him know that Patrick Murphy sent you. So yeah, that's actually I don't know if it's going to be. I think we're actually going to start at 11 this week. That's right, 11. What you didn't put that up as? Yes, I did.
He did.
Oh, well, I didn't put it as an auction. It is a buy it now price. These are made fresh from the factory
Handmade.
and
Uh,
handmade with
uh,
love. Did you read the description that I put on that eBay listing?
what the dude? I gotta show you what else pops up when. That's not appropriate, but I do have it right here. Yep. Let's see if it'll show for everybody. There it is.
Cincinnati Seller. Bengals lost the Mega Ball, had a butt ton of deviled eggs left over from the party, been eating them since as comfort food. The sweet smell of defeat can now be yours too. Act now. Fart in a jar. Googly eyes not included.
Yeah, you might want to raise the price, man. Gas prices are going crazy lately.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, inflation on this gas too.
That's it. How bad is it out there for fuel?
It's about 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last
By
time
the
I
way,
put gas.
I'm sorry because of the fart in the jar. This is going to happen eventually, and I had to screenshot this. You will eventually get this notification. Come on, focus. Come on.
Does it say you have a washer?
No, hold on. Oh, why aren't you doing what I want you to do? There we go.
Just for you. Fart.
Because you search farts.
Oh, shoot.
That is too good to make up, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
It is hand jarred. You never know what we're going to talk about here on on Tuesday nights.
So we've gone from cars to PCs to farts.
Yep.
I am a 12-year-old boy.
There was a little bit of comic talk in there, a little bit, and a lot of comical talk.
So
yeah, no, the prices. The last I paid was like $3.79.
Wow.
3 days ago, and I went today, and it was $4.29. Yep. We'll see what happens. That's all we can do.
Yep. So, is it about that time?
Chick chat. Chick. I can't even say those two words together.
Chick chat.
That's it. Pretty much just like that. Yeah. So we're gonna end it there. Go check them out Friday with Horizon Picks, 11 Eastern Standard Time for some good goodery and funnery. Maybe some jackassery. That doesn't work out, does it? Jackassery? I don't know.
Jackassery.
So, and I'll be running an auction this Thursday at 7 o'clock your time, Eastern, and 4 Pacific.
Awesome.
Grandma's Closet should be there, and we'll see you. Thank you all for coming out. Have a great night.
One more thing.
Get back to work. Oh. Yep.
Remember, everybody, be good not only to each other, but most importantly, hey, you be good to that person staring back at you every single day in the mirror.
Come on, hands. There it goes. Later.